Good evening, friends and family, and thank you for coming to another night with Repair, Restore, and Grow Black Communities Behind Black Business. And look at the wonderful guest that we have tonight, Rico as Michael Jackson. And Rico is
Yes,
very
yes.
busy. Rico is out here engaging in all types of performances. And he managed to squeeze some time out tonight. I wasn't sure if we were going to get him, but he managed to squeeze some time out tonight to be here with us. So I want to thank you, Rico, for coming on our show.
Hey, well, I'm happy to be here. I'm just out here just doing my thing and ready to make it
Absolutely,
happen.
absolutely. So, as you know, we're a nonprofit organization and we're working to enhance the awareness and support of Black businesses in our community. And Rico has a business. He is, I'm going to let him describe to you what he is because I could call you a number of things, but I'd rather you tell us what you are before we get into that. But as you can see, uh, we have Michael Jackson here tonight. And
Right.
that's and that is his business. And in order for our communities to thrive, Rico, we have to support our businesses so we can circulate the dollars in our communities.
That's right.
We have so
That's
many
right.
people with businesses in our communities, and our dollar is only circulating for 6 hours. That means it goes in the
Ooh,
cash register 6 hours and then it's gone. It doesn't go to another business. It doesn't go to a program for the children. It doesn't go to help, with different activities or benefits that would help the community. It's gone, and it's
yes.
gone out to other communities, and that's why the West Side, the South Side of Chicago is looking like it does. And
Yes, we are
so
suffering.
that's
Definitely,
right.
we are suffering.
And so we're working to address this issue by enhancing the awareness of all the wonderful businesses that we have out here. And we are great supporters of our bookstores. Our bookstores are growing, our bookstores are thriving here in Chicago. Where we once had 22 Black bookstores, we do not have that many now, but they are increasing, and that means people are reading. And reading is important because reading is where we can learn about our history. We have a lot of great authors out here, past and in the present, with
Mhm.
information that we need to know about our history. And even the work that you're doing, Rico, is important
Right.
to keeping our history on the table, to letting people know about Michael Jackson.
Exactly.
Younger children who may come along that may not know about Michael Jackson. So
Right.
knowing about our history is very important, and that's why we're great supporters of our bookstores. And we feature a bookstore on our website every month. And our bookstore for this month is Frontline, the great Frontline bookstore that once was hosted in the Hyde Park area for so many years on Harper Street. But they are an online presence right now. So all you have to do is go to D as in David, I as in India, frontline.com. They have a wonderful website with some very powerful reads. And we go a step further. We have a book giveaway every month. And our book that Sekou chose as the proprietor of Frontline is the autobiography of Emperor Haile Selassie, My Life and Ethiopia's Progress from 1892 to 1937. And this traces his birth through the trials of the Second Tailo Ethiopian War in 1937, detailing his upbringing, his education, his political views, and his ascension into the political arena. And he was one of Africa's most influential leaders. And as many of you may or may not know, Ethiopia is the only African nation that was able to remain free from European dominance at that time. And so this is an awesome read. It's 2 volumes. And if you want to win a copy of this book, all you have to do is go to rrgbc.org and subscribe. And then we want you to go to Save Black Bookstores Chicago or change.org and sign our petition so we can get contracts for our Black bookstores.
All
And
right.
finally, there's the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. Everybody watching this podcast, every Black person in Chicago should have an account at the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. They're located at 55th and Wentworth. They've been in our community for over 20 years, giving loans, financial literacy classes to people in the community who otherwise would not be able to go into some of the major banks that many of us have our dollars in. Um, and so they have a lot of products. They have micro business loans, they have car loans, they have personal loans, they have other products in lieu of the high interest payday loans that are out here. So please visit the Southside Community Federal Credit Union and give them some support because they're here to serve our community. So, Rico, let's get to you.
Awesome.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
That's right. Absolutely. So I want you to tell us, I want you to describe to us um, what you do. People might call you a celebrity impersonator, call you an imitator, call you a tribute artist. How would you describe yourself and what you do?
Well, my business is Gold Coast Entertainment, where it's not just impersonators. We hire out everything that has to do with entertainment, from clowns, characters, disc jockeys, dancers. It's like whatever you may need in entertainment. That's what we offer to the public.
Okay.
It's just that you know, being a Michael Jackson impersonator, that's one of the things that we do. We do have impersonators. We have, like, myself as Michael Jackson. We have Whitney Houston, Elvis, whole lot of different impersonators. So it depends on what you're looking for as far as entertainment. So. But what I do, is I call myself a Michael Jackson tribute artist because we do pay tribute to Michael Jackson, and like you said before, it's an educational thing as well, not just entertainment. We want to just teach the young kids, what about our Black heroes, and what we do, and where we come from, and and where we're going. So we like to try to teach and let them know that some of our great artists that's out here.
That's right. And so much of our musical experience, whether it's dance, whether it's music, whether it's vocals, came from somewhere, you know.
Right.
And you go back and you look at many of the artists, and even when you look at Michael,
Mhm.
Michael, his performance just spanned the whole air, all the different eras
Oh
and
yeah,
types of
yeah,
music
that's
that
right.
was produced in our communities.
Exactly. And he covered all age range from 1 to 100. I mean, everybody knew about Michael Jackson, so that's a blessing in itself, because a lot of artists, you can be out here
Mhm.
many years and you don't get that type of recognition. And Michael was just a great artist. So
That's right. That's right. And it sounds like your business has an opportunity to do that because I retired from Chicago Public Schools.
mhm.
And I used to ask some of my students, do you know who Stevie Wonder is? Do you know who James Brown is?
Right.
And I was just floored at how many of the children, especially in our communities, did not know who these people were.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I go outside of my communities and I ask other children who these people are, and they know who they are.
Hmm. Yeah.
How do
Well,
we how do we account for that?
I think that we have to constantly yeah, just educate them on our music
Hmm.
history, and as far as actors and just Black history, period. Because we want
Hmm.
them to always understand where you come from, and because a lot of them look at what they see out here now and think that this is it. This
That's
is
it.
all we have come from, and but they don't understand that you have a long history that a lot of them don't know anything about.
That's right.
Because
And I
I've done the
think,
same thing. I've asked younger people about some of the artists that they didn't know anything about, but they all knew Michael Jackson. So
they all knew Michael Jackson.
yeah. So even like the little kids, like 3 and 4, they that always amazes me when I see a 3 or 4 year old like, "Hey, Michael Jackson!" Like,
They
what do
know
you
Michael Jackson. And that's
know
interesting.
about Michael Jackson?
That's interesting
But
that Michael has been able to survive, over all of these different generations. Why do you think
oh,
that's so?
I don't know because he was just a great artist. He made a great impact on the world, not just Black America, but I mean
Hmm.
he expanded the world, and that's the blessing of a lot of artists like that, because a lot of them don't get to do that, in this lifetime. So
Okay, okay. So you did say that you do have other artists. You mentioned a few,
hmm
uh, but tell us. I mean, if somebody is having a venue,
hmm
and let's say I wanted to have Gladys Knight and the Pips, playing at my venue. Are you able to go there, or do you have just certain
Um,
people that
well,
you?
it's really certain artists that it would be kind of hard to find a Gladys Knight in a pit, but we do have artists that can. If they really want Gladys Knight, we can teach some people and learn and get them Gladys Knight. But artists like the Tina Turners, Whitney Houston, and stuff like that. So but it's like, hey,
Hmm.
whatever you want, we can definitely try to figure out a way to get it for you. Even
Okay,
like today's
okay,
artists, like like the Beyonces and stuff like that. We can find you artists like that as well.
okay. So, you know, when you're impersonating someone, I know Jamie Foxx when he played in Ray. I mean, he did a phenomenal job,
Yes.
impersonating, play actually just playing Ray Charles. You really
Mhm.
got a sense of Ray Charles.
Right.
Does a lot of training go into being able to do this?
I mean, yeah, over the years, you definitely because like what Jamie Foxx is. I mean, and any actor. I mean, it's acting. All of this is just acting, and you're acting like those people, and you out here, and if you do a really good job, that means you're doing a good job acting. So I think Jamie Foxx did a really great job, and like I say, anything can be learned
Hmm.
if you put that time and effort into it.
So within your network, do you have a training? Do you have a school?
No, we don't have a school because most of the artists that come to us, pretty much they already they're talented people already, so they're ready to go.
They're
So
ready to go.
yeah, they're ready to go. So we don't do a lot of teaching. If you wake up and decide you want to be Prince.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
but you pretty much have to have a little talent, have something going on, then we can just try to shine on that and see what happens.
Okay. Okay. So I would like to talk about a few things regarding the attributes of Michael Jackson when
hmm
as a performer, and one of it is his vocals.
hmm
You know, um, well, what made you want to do Michael Jackson impersonate?
I mean, well, when I was growing up, as and when back in the '80s, I've been doing this for a long time. So back in the
Okay.
'80s, when Michael Jackson, first blew up, I mean, as a child, he was always, the Jackson Five and all that. It was always great, but doing that off the wall and Thriller thing, and that's when he really blew up. And then people started telling me I look like Michael Jackson, and me and
Oh,
friends.
you were looking like him then?
No, I don't. I didn't think I was, but people used to tell me because I had the afro and I had all that going on. So people
Okay.
always used to say, "You look like Michael Jackson," and then we'll just listen to music and dance around the house, and and people start asking me, just like if you go to a family picnic, you ask your nephew or little cousin to come and tell a joke or sing or something like that. That was my thing. They would say, "Come and
Mm-hmm.
dance like Michael Jackson," and and it turned into this business.
Wow.
Didn't expect it to, but here we are, 35 some
Expected
years
to.
later. Still doing it.
Wow. Now, do you ever actually sing?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
do?
Some
Okay.
events I do sing. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Because when I saw you at the school. I mean, I mean, the kids, they were talking about it for days and days afterwards. They were so uh, enthralled. They were so impacted by your performance, and it was just you.
Hmm.
And so, but you had the music. You had the
Yeah, the
music.
music going,
Mhm.
lip syncing on top because I think I do that because I enjoy. I'm a Michael Jackson fan as well, not just an impersonator, but I enjoy listening to Michael Jackson music. So when I'm performing to his music, I'm enjoying it as a fan as well, not just performing as a artist, but I'm getting two for one.
Okay.
So but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. So you mentioned Thriller because Thriller came out, I think it was in 82. I think it was in 1982 because
Right,
Michael was singing. He was already
mhm,
singing solo, and then he had
right.
been singing with his brothers in the Jackson Five. But something
Mhm.
happened when Thriller came out.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the time.
Something
I mean,
something
yeah.
just something flipped.
Mhm.
It was the video. Uh, it was the video and the video dancing. It was
Mhm.
it was his look. He
Yeah.
looked
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Because back then, wasn't nobody doing anything like in the videos and just I mean, it was just something new and fresh, and the world wasn't ready for that. But we it happened, you know,
Hmm.
and that was his time to shine. So and he did.
Yeah, he came out with the look. He came out with the white glove. He came out
Right.
with the short pants and the white socks, and just the way the whole thing was put
Yeah.
together, and
Oh yeah.
it just rocked the world. Everybody was
Yeah. It
listening
just
to
took
it.
the world by storm.
I remember taking my
Right.
mother to
Exactly.
Jackson his concert. That he had.
Mhm. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it was really, really impactful, and he transcended racial lines.
Hmm.
'Cause, like I said, people all over the world was listening to him, and he transcended. When you listen to his music, it just had all the different genres of music there. You had the rock, you had the jazz, you
Yes.
had the R&B. You you just had everything in there.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
all rolled up into one. He
Yeah.
was a
And
he
Michael was an incredible artist.
Right, right, right. And so, what about connecting with your audience? Um, I know you have the skill to, imitate Michael. I know you have the skill, obviously, as you say, to sing and come with the vocals and the
Hmm.
dances. And so, what would you say is your unique, or maybe what was Michael's unique ability to connect with the audience?
One thing for me, it's just knowing, just knowing your audience. I mean, I think I do so many events, and there's so many different people, so many different races, and it's just everybody just want to have fun, and everybody just want to be happy, and they just want to see something that's entertaining and something almost like they've never seen before. So I try to give them that with my show. I don't go out there just as a Jackson. I try to do my Michael Jackson show, but take it even
Right.
to a different level. So I try to even up a two, just to give them something totally different than what they've seen even from Michael Jackson. So and people
Oh
like to
no,
be.
there's definitely a difference because I've seen people um, impersonate Michael Jackson and they come out and there's a whole lot of um, movement with the crouch area and then a little
Mhm.
turn around and coming back with the. but
Right.
you are able to really connect with the audience,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
takes something special. So you gotta read that audience.
Yeah, and that's what thing I try. I think I do pretty well. You know, when I get out to these events, I perform, and I'm performing, but I'm also, I'm seeing everyone around me. I'm seeing the people that's dancing, the ones that's moving, the ones that's sitting still, and sometimes, I may be looking straight ahead, but in my I can look over there and see a person over there. They really get into it. So that's the person I'm going to get involved with, because they're really getting into it. So I'm gonna bring them on stage and make them involved in the show. So I want them to be
Okay,
part of it, because I want them to have their moment too. Because sometimes when you see people out there dancing around, they're imagining their self being up there with you, or being that
okay,
person. So you give them their minute as well and that's something that they'll remember for the rest of their life. And then
for the
nowadays,
rest
with
of their life.
everything being on video, and they'll even have it, they'll even have it filmed. So that's great.
Well, I know one thing that they say about people like Michael, and even some other great entertainers or performers, or even sports people. That many of them are perfectionists.
Hmm.
Uh, you consider yourself to be a perfectionist?
I'm probably half a perfectionist. Constantly trying to, I'm constantly just trying to just get better and better at what I do. But I know there's people out there who live, sleep, and eat what they do, and those people are, I just wish sometimes I can be that person. But when you have so much going on and you're not, it's hard to
Sure,
be that person. It really is.
sure, sure. Well, you have a company, so you're working with
Yeah.
other people.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's like one of those things that it's you got irons and all type of fire, so it's kind of like it's hard to just focus on one thing. But
Yeah, I remember this jazz trumpet player, James
Mhm.
Moody. I think he played at least for 60 years. He
Mhm.
played the trumpet. I think he played the saxophone. And I went to see him, you know, in his later years, and
Mhm.
just sound just as crisp and clear. And he says, I practice every day. He
Okay.
says, if I miss a day practicing, I know it. He
Okay.
says, if I miss 2 days practicing, my audience knows it. So it's something about reaching that level, reaching
Mhm.
that point.
Right.
Um, and
Right.
and I think that's the other thing, that's the great draw about Michael, because I think Michael, I understand he really practiced. He worked hard.
Oh,
He
oh yeah.
constantly worked hard, like with the type of person that you were talking about.
Mhm.
And so it brought him to that level. And so
Right.
I think that's another reason why he was such a great entertainer,
Yeah.
and why so many people still enjoy you know, listening and
Oh
watching
yeah. For sure. I mean, like I say, he made a major impact, and I think that's an impact that's gonna last forever. So.
him. So what types of venues do you perform in, so that people will have an idea of what they could possibly even call you for?
Well, well, over the years, I've been doing this a lot of years. So over the years, I performed probably at every type of venue you could think of. I
Okay.
performed at uh, arenas. I don't know. I've been to so many different places and performed so many different venues.
Okay.
It's incredible.
Ba-
But
baby 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 showers, or
oh yeah, I've done those. I've done baby showers, weddings,
bachelor parties.
bachelorettes. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of festivals,
Mhm.
and this is the summertime, so I have a lot of festivals upcoming, this summer, and so I
Okay. What
do
are
a lot.
what are some of the festivals we're having a little bit of lag time, but you're still coming in with you.
Mhm.
We're not missing what you say, but we're having a little bit of lag
Oh,
time
okay,
with the video. Um,
gotcha.
but anyway, what do you have going on for this summer?
I mean, like past events I've done like Taste of Chicago. I've done, a lot of West Side Festival, Taste of Boston. But this summer we're doing Michael Jackson birthday is next month, so we're doing quite a few MJ events. We're doing a couple of them in Gary. One of them is called Dynasty that we're doing. Then the Jacksons, they're coming down to do a big thing at the house in Gary, Indiana. They're doing that on the same day Michael
Okay.
Jackson's 29th and the 30th.
Hmm.
And so it's a couple of months. So
Okay. When was Michael's birthday?
August 29th.
August the 29th. Okay, so
Right.
that's in celebration of him. Well, that would be great for Gary especially.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they're trying to bring Gary back and just bring it back to life, and you know, I think it's a great thing that that they're doing this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it turned out.
Okay. Do you know, have they done anything special with the Jackson's house?
I mean, outside of fixing it up, they got it fixed up. They got it gated around, and a lot every like June 25th, which was the day of his celebrate Michael. They played music and dance around and just have a good time and kind of celebrate Michael Jackson. The same thing they do for his birthday. So it's that whole thing that uh, it's like a tourist attraction for a lot of people. People come from around the
Oh,
country and around the world to see the house.
are they able to go inside? Do they have
No,
any?
they can't go inside.
No.
Unfortunately, I haven't even been inside. And it's
Okay. Okay. It's a
you know,
little bitty house.
yeah. I hear it's a little
Yeah,
bitty
I've
house.
seen
I've
it.
seen photos and but yeah,
Okay.
it's a very small house.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I thought myself. All the houses on that street are small like that, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But I think that's kind of a common, back in the day, even here in Chicago, we have some properties where the rooms were small.
Hmm.
And I know the block I lived on, there was a couple of families. There were large families, and when I'd never gone inside their house, but when you
Hmm.
going inside their house now, it's really small rooms, and but people made
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
work.
They figure out a way to make it happen out here because you only can do what you can do.
That's right. That's
and,
right.
and
So, what are some of the what are some of the most requested songs that people ask for? Would you say?
um, like Billie Jean, Thriller. Those are main too. They love those
Mhm.
songs, and but they pretty much leave it up to me because to do my show because it's like kind of like pretty experienced. I know what people really want to hear and how they entertain people. So I put a show together that will entertain them. So, but they definitely want Billie Jean and Thriller in that show.
So, what's your favorite song?
So, I think I perform. I think I enjoy performing like Dirty Diana, um,
Okay.
and Man in the Mirror. Because those songs yeah, it's a different feel you
Hmm.
get from them. So you can really get into it.
Okay. Do you ever go to senior? I didn't ask you, but do you ever go to senior homes?
Ooh,
Or
all the time. Yeah, I spent a whole lot of time at performing at a lot of senior facilities, and they just love it.
they love it?
Yeah, they get up and dance, and the ones that can move around, they do what they can to get their bodies moving.
Okay.
But
Okay.
we have a really great time with the seniors.
Now, I know when I was asking you some questions earlier about your performance, you were expressing to me that it doesn't always just have to be you, but depending on what the people are looking for, you can bring a whole
Oh yeah, I can bring them a whole
performance with band and
production.
dancers and
Oh
all that.
yeah, yeah, most definitely we can do dancers, whatever they're looking for. Like I have
Mhm.
an event this weekend where they wanted me to do like the whole Thriller routine with the dancers. So we've been doing rehearsals, and we're gonna do that whole Thriller thing and have a good
Oh,
time.
with the ghoulie
Right,
monsters,
the zombies.
all the zombies and the cemetery scene and all of that.
So yeah, we got that. Right, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna
Wow,
do all that. Yeah. So
that's going to
that's
be
another
this
event.
weekend.
Yeah, this weekend, the house music picnic in Jackson Park.
Oh, okay. That's Saturday. Is that going to be
Yeah,
Saturday or
that's
Is
Saturday.
that
Yeah. Oh
what
yeah.
time? What time is that?
I think it's around five.
Around
Around
5 o'clock.
yeah, should be around 5 o'clock. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So it should be fun.
Okay.
Looking
I
forward
might
to it.
I might try to slide over to that one.
Yeah, come out there and show 'em what you got. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Let that shoulder and the head move.
That's right.
Wow. So, um, do you ever do any of the earlier songs like do anybody ever ask you to do like some of the Jackson 5 songs?
Yeah, I do the songs in my show, like the ABC "I Want You Back," stuff like that. You know, it's part of the show that I do. I mean, I don't bring out the afro or anything like that. I just mainly just perform the songs.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You know, stop the
So,
love and save.
uh-huh. Absolutely. Wow. So, what would you say are some of the challenges that you might have in this type of work, doing this type of work?
Um, hmm. I don't know. I don't really. You know, like I said, I've been doing it a long time, and I'm constantly promoting. I'm constantly working. I'm constantly when I'm not actually doing a show, I'm actually promoting the business and putting in
Okay.
fires and doing it. So I don't have a lot of challenges. I mean, you know, it's been good. So I don't have too many complaints.
And I guess that what that says is you're passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Most definitely.
So what people might see as challenges, you see as just
I mean, yeah. It's just
par
put.
for the
Yeah, you
course.
just have to put that work in, and when you put that
Uh-huh.
work in and work hard at it, you know, you won't have a lot of challenges. So.
Okay. Okay. And so what would you say are some of your greatest rewards for doing this work?
Oh boy. I mean, just making them happy and saying they've never seen anything like that before, and say I brought back memories and things like that. I mean, those stuff like that, you'd be happy to hear because you want to be able to touch people and be able to know that you did something to really make people happy, and I think you know that's what I get. That's the joy I get out of it.
That's the joy you get out of it. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
That's wonderful. And I'm glad to hear that you're not just working Michael Jackson, but you have other
Yeah, we have other artists, and yeah, we have other artists as well. And even when I'm not doing that, I'm doing my own music. I'm recording, doing stuff of my own. You know, that's not my
oh,
yeah. So and
okay,
I've recorded a song. I got a few songs that's streaming right now. So you know, you'll be able to go on and listen to the stuff that I'm doing. So
oh well, tell us about that. Tell us about
I
that.
I put out I called it a prequel, you know, which is a song that I put together. Actually, I put it out late last year, and it's called "My Addiction."
Okay,
And it's just like 8 songs: "Girl Shopping," "My Addiction." Um, it's terrible. I can't even think of the songs, but it's just quite a few songs that's on the project, and it's been doing pretty well so far. I mean, I've been
okay,
happy with the process. We got
okay. Now, does it have this? Did it fall under any type of category?
yeah, it's like pop R&B.
Like pop R&B?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. You think we might be able to hear something before you leave today?
Uh, you know, I try to like throw something on for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me hear some of what I'd like to hear some of your music. That's
Oh
which is
yeah,
wonderful. It's
yeah,
not
oh
you're
yeah,
you're okay. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah, and it's pretty cool stuff. So I've been having a great time, and let me grab some drink.
Okay. Well, family, we're talking to Rico who is he has a company. Okay, this is Rico's album. And what's the name of your CD?
It's called My Addiction.
My Addiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and they have just a few songs on it. Just probably like 8 songs. So, but you can find it online. It's just go to Rico Hampton and it'll come up.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's pretty cool stuff.
That's pretty cool. All right. So you're not just doing Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
You're
I'm not just
doing
doing Michael.
music.
I had to expand it a little bit.
Hmm. Okay.
Got some stepping songs in there, so you can get your step on. A few steps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rico Hampton. All right.
Right.
So you go to Rico Hampton, the streaming, and then we can listen to your CD. That's
Yes.
great. That's
Yeah.
great.
So yeah. So it's pretty cool. But and that's something that I've been working on for a few years now, and because we all have other dreams outside of what I do here. I mean, I enjoy doing the Michael Jackson thing, but of course, Michael's supposed to inspire, or if you're an artist in person, it's supposed to inspire you to do other things as well. So
Sure.
it inspired me to just want to be just record my own music and be an artist as myself and just do my own thing. So
So you started out with working as impersonating Michael, and
right,
then the other aspects of your business grew,
yeah.
or did the other aspects of your business come first? Which came first?
It came. Yeah, I started out doing Michael first, and
Okay.
then and everything else kind of followed. So then
Mm-hmm.
I built a studio in my house, and all of a sudden, we started singing and bringing other artists in and recording their music and all that kind of stuff. So it expanded.
Now, do you just perform in Chicago?
I go everywhere. Yeah, I go everywhere.
Everywhere?
I go all over the country, all over the world. Wherever people call me, I go.
Oh, okay. So what other cities have you performed in?
Well, I mean, I've been to Vegas, New York, LA. I've been to Indonesia. I've been to where have I been? Did quite a few events in Canada. So it's like wherever people call,
Wherever
that's
they
where I go.
come,
Yeah.
you're ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Wow, sounds like you have a wonderful career.
Oh yeah. It's tons of fun. I have a big
Mhm.
festival, African festival, I'm doing next month in Minneapolis. So yeah,
Okay,
it's pretty cool.
okay, okay. So, what would you say the most memorable reaction that you have received from your audience or someone in the audience?
Well, I get a lot of people crying, a lot of tears,
Wow.
because because it like I say, it bring back memories, and of course when I'm performing at the senior buildings, the seniors they try to get up out of their chairs and dance with me.
Oh,
A lot of that, a lot of that stuff is online too, so you'll be able to see that if you
oh
remember.
wow. So
So
we
it's
go to your website.
now you can just Google Rico Hampton as Michael Jackson, and a lot of stuff will come up.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh
So yeah,
wow.
I have it's a very fulfilling job to have.
It sounds like it. Sounds
It
like
is.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It is.
Hmm.
You know. And sometimes I mean, I've done as many as 10 shows in one day where I'm just I'll go do a show, do a 20-30 minute show, leave, go do the next one,
Oh,
and do that like all day long. I get home like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like beat. It's kind of like, but
that's
but
why I'm having such a hard time catching you.
yeah, it's really crazy, but I had to make time for you because I know you are making it happen for people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We appreciate that. We do.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you and what you're doing out here.
Oh yeah.
But you're
So
also bringing other people into the arena,
oh
you
yeah,
know.
well, yeah, we have to. I mean, I think hey, if God gives you a blessing, use it or
Hmm.
lose it. So
Wow. What's the most amount of people that have worked with you at one time, would
um,
you say?
work with me. I mean, I don't know as far as what.
As far as a performance and
I mean, I've done productions where we've done like we used to do like big like thriller events where we have a big event during like Halloween time to keep the kids safe and off the street. We'll put together a production where
Mhm.
be like myself. We'll have clowns, comedians, and a whole lot of stuff. And we'll come together and put this big show together and just entertain the public. And so they usually be those shows are always great. So we,
Okay, so you have a lot
production.
of people doing that because that's the other thing we look at. We say when we hire people, when we have our businesses, we have a tendency to be able to hire people
Oh yeah,
or
yeah.
people from the community, give other people job opportunities,
Hmm.
and then I'm sure other people who are doing the same work or aspiring to
Hmm.
even do this kind of work.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
most definitely. Yeah.
Uh, so I could see you, at some point, with a school, you know, and
Hmm.
teaching uh, people how
Right.
to do all of this work.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I can see because I think the kids they definitely enjoy it and they inquisitive. They like to learn. So we definitely like to try to teach. Whenever I do stuff at public schools, the kids they just eat it up. They love it. So we try to bring them in as much as possible.
Okay. And in terms of Michael, impersonating Michael, would you say that this has influenced your view, or how has this influenced your view about performance?
Um, I mean, it's well for me, it just gave me a just a positive view on the world because it's kind of like that everyone is looking at the same thing, which is they just want to be happy and entertained. So so as a
Mm-hmm.
performer, that's I feel like that's my
Mm-hmm.
job to just put the smiles on their faces, entertain them, and just give them something they probably never seen before, or something they heard of. A lot of them heard of Michael Jackson and never seen anything that never got the opportunity to see him live or anything like that. So when I go out here and perform for people, it's kind of like just almost like their imagination that this is how it would have been.
Mm-hmm. And I think his music too, the lyrics
Hmm.
in his music, he was able to address so many emotions, so many
Hmm.
issues,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
the issues that were going on in the world.
Hmm.
He was able to bring all of that to
Oh
his
yeah.
music, and so people could relate.
Yeah, yeah, and
Not
I admire artists. Yeah, and I admire artists like that who take it even a step further than just making just music for you to dance to. They give you something to think about. So
That's
you
right.
have artists like Michael Jackson, Prince,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or R. Kelly. They give you something more than just.
Right. Right. Those lyrics. He has some very powerful lyrics. And
Mhm.
what do you think? How do you think impersonating Michael Jackson has influenced I would say, your view on fame, being famous?
Um, I mean, I think it's just all about how you handle it. Because some people, if they'll get to a certain point in their career, if they do get to a point where they're famous or very known, some of them take advantage of it and not do uh and not do what they should be doing, which is you're bringing in other people and giving love out to people and just being a loving person, being very humble with what you do. But some
Mm-hmm.
people do take advantage and do the wrong things with their success or fame, and
Mm-hmm.
those ones just fall through the
Because you hear,
cracks.
yeah, because you hear a lot. We've seen so many of our artists as you watch movies like The Temptations, the Five Heartbeats. What's that other group? Um, I can't think of the other group. But
Mhm.
you watch these films, and they they become famous, and then something happens. You know, and they end up dealing with different realities. There's drugs, and all of that gets involved.
Well, yes, because they a lot of a lot of them can't handle that fame and everything that comes with it. I mean, I think when you become like huge, I mean, a lot comes your way that that hard to turn down a lot of times, and if you're weak minded, you'll fall into those traps.
Hmm. And I think it's also dealing with the pressures of always having to be on.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
when
yeah,
you come
exactly.
out, everybody is expecting you. Like you say, when you practice and you reach that pinnacle,
Hmm.
every time you come out and perform, everybody is expecting you to be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and then
But
you get so used to that, all the attention that when you don't have the attention, you're looking for something else, and I think that's where the drugs and all that come in at because it's kind of like, now that you don't have all this tension, what else can I do to make myself feel good?
hmm
So, that's when they turn into other things, and that's what messes a lot of them up. So because that attention it can be it can be addicting.
it can be addictive. So it's the tension, it's the pressures, because there's
Yeah,
a lot of
and
pressure. Will you say?
yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of pressure. I think during the time when Michael Jackson first passed, I mean, so many things was coming my way. So many people was coming my way. I mean, I really had to literally because I mean, it was giving me anxiety. So but I had to just calm down
Hmm.
and just just take one day at a time because
Yeah.
we're in a selfish world, and most people was in it for their self, and a lot of people thought that because Michael Jackson passed, they figure I was getting ready to make all this huge money, so they wanted to be part of it. So they just kept calling and calling and calling. So I had to really just cut a lot of stuff off and just
Hmm.
be my normal self.
Right. Right. And I think that's something that's
So,
that's that's important when you get in as becoming a performer, because it can be you
mhm,
are getting a lot of attention, and you are dealing
right.
with so many other people always watching you, listening to you, wanting you,
Hmm.
um, and having to live up to all of that, and you have to have ways of creating a balance. And how do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to be, know where you come from and understand that, understand who you are, and a lot of people just don't know that. So but like as far as for me, I've been doing this for so long that I'm pretty much set in my ways. I don't think a lot of people can change me. At this point.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh God, I think almost 40 years.
Oh, wow.
40 years, yeah.
That's a long time.
Yes, it is a long time because the Thriller came out back in the '82. So that was like 30 some years ago. So it's yeah.
Wow. Yeah, everybody really picked, like I said, when Thriller came out, that was really special.
Hmm.
That was really special. So, do we get to hear or see anything
Yeah,
before
it
you go
was.
off
Yeah.
tonight?
Like another day's gone. How could this be? Yeah, get out here. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get out here and do
Oh,
my thing.
that sounds really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do
Okay.
a lot of stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Because when you were performing, I was wondering. I said, okay, now he's not singing. I said, I wonder if he could sing. So I see yeah, you got it down.
Oh yeah. No, I sing all the time. Oh
Wow.
yeah.
So what
Yeah.
would you say to people, Rico, who might be aspiring to do what you're doing?
I say do it just for do it for fun and don't get caught up with doing it. Because I didn't expect to be doing this 35 some years later. And it's kind of like though though I have reaped all the rewards from it and I made a business from it. But I would say for anybody else, if you just want to be an impersonator, I mean, just do it for a little while, but mainly just continue and do your own thing because that's more
Hmm.
important, I think. You know, Michael is Michael. I mean, there'll never be another MJ. Michael has done great things, and only thing we can do, like this, is just pay tribute to MJ. But always definitely find your own voice because that's important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm glad you're making your own music. You
Mhm.
want to put that up again about your CD that you have there?
Yes, it's called My Addiction, and online or some song. Just it's Rico Hampton. So just Google Rico Hampton music, and you'll find all my stuff.
Okay. So if someone wanted to hire you or talk to you about putting together a venue or being a part of a venue, how would they go about it?
I mean, you can, like I say, you can find me online. Just like I said, search Rico as Michael Jackson, and I'm not hard to find. So,
Okay. So they have you have the email.
yeah. The email is ricomj@aol.com. I'm the only one left in the world with AOL. So,
That's right. Everybody is
like Google and everything else. So yeah,
oh,
and Facebook and everything else is Rico as Michael Jackson or Rico Michael Jackson or Rico MJ Hampton. Like I said, I've been doing it a long time, so I have tons of stuff out there.
okay. Are you working with
Or you can
any
even
of
go to
the
YouTube and just type in Rico as Michael.
okay. Okay, that's how we would get in touch with you. And what's the name of
Hmm.
your company? You said you
It's
have
Gold Coast Entertainment.
Gold Coast Entertainment. Okay.
Yes.
So if somebody has a really good act or something,
Yeah, just hit me up and let's see if we can put you on.
okay, okay. Because there are some talented people out here.
Oh, yeah, I run into a whole lot of them, and it's kind of like some
Mhm.
very talented people. You
And
know,
what's your plans for the future, Rico?
plans for the future is just continue to do what I'm doing. I mean, hey, I figure God have blessed me to continue to do what I'm doing, so I'm just continue to do it until I can't do it anymore. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Well, I think you're great at what you do because I have had an opportunity to see you perform,
thank
and
you.
that's why I wanted to have you on this podcast. And definitely want to try to check out your venue that's going to be at the House Music
Yes,
Festival this
yes.
Saturday
This Saturday we're
in
gonna be
Jackson Park. You
in
said at five
Jackson Park.
o'clock.
That's right. We're gonna be doing our thing.
You're gonna be doing your thing. So you're gonna be doing the whole thriller. You're gonna be doing the whole thriller piece out there.
Yeah, we're gonna do the whole thriller with the dancers, the zombies, the whole thing. It's gonna be really cool. And then
Wow.
we'll be Michael Jackson birthday weekend. We'll be out in Gary, Indiana. Shutting down the town. So everybody come on out to Gary. We're gonna have a good time.
Okay, well, family, this is Rico Hampton. We have been talking to him about working as a impersonator of Michael Jackson. He does a wonderful job, and in his network that he has, his global network that he has, that is also another awesome piece. And it just shows what we can do, and especially when you stay grounded and stay focused on what's really important in terms of what you're doing with your business. And so that's where I think you may have made a very good point tonight, Rico. And so I want to thank you for coming tonight. We ask you to go to rrgbc.org where you can make a donation to our organization. It helps us to continue to bring this podcast and do some of the other work that we do to help Black businesses. So we want to thank you all for coming tonight. And we want to thank you again for coming tonight. And this has been Rico MJ
That's right.
Jackson. Oh, can we get it again? All right. Okay. And so we're asking you to remember always to support Black businesses.
Support
Have a
black
good,
businesses. You have to support black businesses.
that's right. That's right. So have a good night.
All right. Take care. Stay safe.
Peace.